Yeah. Yeah. We on. Oh, come close.
All right, y'all. I'm here with my partner.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
My name is Too Short. This is my nigga James Horton from fucking high school. That was damn near 30, 40 years ago, long time ago. This is my guy right here. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel.
That's Domestic Violence with the Council, Mr. James Horton on YouTube. Thank you. I'm going to be dealing with a class today, you all, that I call The Courage to Be Vulnerable. The courage to be vulnerable. And most of us, especially men, we have a problem. You know, it's just been in our DNA and our genetics. We've been having a problem since the beginning of time, being vulnerable, feeling weak and things like that, and having the wrong perception of being what vulnerable is. You know, having a perception that vulnerable is when we let people know who we are. Vulnerable is what we believe is when we expose different stuff or different areas of where we don't know how to do something or we haven't learned how to do something. So, you know, being vulnerable is a kind of scary place because sometimes, which is true in a lot of areas, that when we are vulnerable, we believe people take advantage of that. People take advantage of us exposing certain areas of ourselves. So it's called The Courage to Be Vulnerable in Relationships. It says, finding what it means to be vulnerable in relationships. Being vulnerable is actually letting people and relationship partners know who you really are. Being vulnerable allows people to know who their relationship partner truly is. Being vulnerable is necessary in having and finding true love in relationships. Being vulnerable opens the door for mutual trust. Being vulnerable also has its dark side, like things some of us are known to do to others after receiving someone's admission, confession, disposal, or publication when we want to harm or hurt someone. Ask yourself questions, right? Number one says, in most of your relationships, do you fear exposing all parts of yourself and becoming vulnerable with your partner because of the past hurts and pains you've experienced in your life? Do you fear being vulnerable because of past times when you got with the wrong person? You thought she was the right or he was the right person, and you know, you just let go. You were so you had let your guards down even, and boom, and you had no idea. You was totally surprised when that person said, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give you the business. I'm gonna slam your head against the wall for what you told me, and I'm gonna bring up all kind of stuff that you was even crying about when you was telling me the story, or telling them the story, right? That kind of stuff, right? So that's that. Number two, do you know it takes courage and willingness to be vulnerable when it comes to finding the right relationship partner for yourself? It takes courage, right? It takes courage to tell the truth. You know, I mean, we need to give people their pat on the back. We need to give people their thumbs up when it comes to them and us being willing to be vulnerable, to be willing to just, hey, you know what you do with it is on you. But I'm gonna free myself and I'm gonna keep it real and I'm gonna keep it honest, right? And this is what it is. And people respect that, you know, in the bigger picture. Yeah, they may try to play games, but you know, people can only do really to you what you allow them to do. If you give that something that you admitted and that admission that you let out to them, then you've given them power against you. You know, you're giving them power when you put too much on it. But if you just totally can let it go and not trip what happens with it because you freed yourself of it, they can't come back. They can try, and you can laugh at it too if you choose to. So that's that. Number three, Do you believe being vulnerable in your relationship is a sign of weakness, or do you believe is a sign of strength? Do you believe is a sign of weakness? Yes, that's what they told you. That's what they're saying in the hood. That's what they're saying at the schoolhouse. That's what they're saying at the club. That's what they're saying on the block. You know, oh man, you what? You said that? You told that? Yeah. You know, it's even like in areas of drugs, right? People say, hey, you know, they would rather keep whatever they doing. If they drug abuse, that, you know, that sneaky stuff that comes with picking up substances, they would rather keep it a secret. But what one doesn't know, that secrets die in the light of exposure. And also know what one needs to know is that you can't get no help if you keep everything in and you don't let that stuff out. Let go, man. Let go. If you have to cry, that's all right. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong, right? So don't get misconstrued and mixed up with bad information. You know, bad information. Forget what they told you. What they told you might not have been the truth, right? Number 4, do you fear, block, and avoid opening the door to your vulnerable past in most of your relationships and with others because you're afraid of being hurt and shamed? Do you fear opening up that door, you know, because you're afraid of being shamed? You know, that's one of those reasons. It's like, oh man, I'm so used to being in the dark. Are you so used to being turning the lights off, you know, and stuff like that? You know, you so in the dark that you try to even read a book in the dark, you know, lighting a candle or something because you don't want to be seen. You don't want certain parts of yourself to be seen. You know, it's that shame and that guilt and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, and like, you know, so afraid, but you're hurting yourself at the same time. You know, because you must free yourself. You must free yourself and just be real with yourself and love you. Don't try to be another you or some other you or some other body. Be you. And be thankful that you are you and nobody can ever be the you that you really are and the you that you're meant to be. Right? Okay? So, number 5. Do you know, when it comes to most people who are known to hold on to hurtful, sick secrets to avoid being vulnerable, has most of those people being as sick as their secrets? Do you know, when it comes to most people who are known to hold on to hurtful, sick secrets to avoid being vulnerable, has most of those people being as sick as their secrets, right? It makes you sick. It makes you practically have a chemical or a mental imbalance, right? You're not balanced. You're not happy. You're not free. And sometimes, eventually, you know, this stuff creates prescriptions for medication, right? You now needing something or in need of something to get the balance right, to be okay with yourself. You know, to not even think on the area of suicide, of hurting yourself, of having to put something in your body over and over so you won't feel that something that you once had to feel, right? You can get past it and you can grow past it, you can rise above it, you know, but, you know, secrets are not really cool. They're not cool at all, right? Secrets make you sick and keep you sick. And so, you know, let go of them secrets, man, you know, let go of them secrets. Number 6, for those who know and for those who may not know, who find themselves fearing being vulnerable in life and in relationships, remember and take note, secrets die in the light of exposure. Remember that. Secrets die in the light of exposure, right? Just expose them, put some light, get a flashlight if you have to, you know, and free yourself. Number 7, when dealing with your own insecurities, are you known to seek and search for the vulnerable, weak, sick, and broken relationship type partner to make yourself feel whole and complete? When dealing with your own insecurities, are you known to seek and search for the vulnerable, weak, sick, and broken relationship type partner to make yourself feel whole and complete. Are you known to, are you known to be like that? Are you known to, man, are you known to do that? I gotta find somebody broken. Ooh, if she tell me she broken, she's the perfect one. It ain't just the outside that one is looking for that looks good and looks sexy. Many people are looking for the broken type because they can roll with that. They know how to deal with the broken type. They know how to manipulate and control the broken type. They know how to promise the broken that they got the fix and the special piece to fix the brokenness. They got the mending tape, they got the band-aid, and they got the answer, right? But at the same time, they are not there to fix you. They're not there to fix you. We are people like that. You or whoever that's in those positions, man, they're looking to help make it worse, right? So, and there says something about that person that looks for that type. If you're that type, it says something about you, because obviously there's something wrong with you to look for something that's wrong with them or someone else. All right, just wanted to share that with you. Number 8. Number 8. Are you known to use violence and abuse on your relationship partner to hide or disguise the weak, vulnerable side of your partner, side of your partner, that your partner may or may not know about? Are you known to use violence and abuse to hide this side, right? People go around even with pistols, right? And they go around, we got a lot of young people today, a whole tribe of people in every state around the United States going around doing horrible, horrible acts, disrespecting the old, not having any principles or any rules. Back when I was growing up, we had rules. You had to stick to the script. There was the do's and the don'ts. And so today, we have a lot of hurt people, right? And I once wrote something that said, children and young people are not really bad, they're really sad. And sad and hurt people tend to do bad and hurtful things to other people, right? They do. Because really on the inside, they're hurting and they're lashing out because of these feelings, these uncontrollable feelings, this lack of love, this lack of not ever having a hug and those kind of things, And we have to go and look into the inner part, go inside the onion and find out what's happening with them on the inside to make them act so out of whack on the outside. Is the question, right? And the answer to that. I believe. Okay. Number 9. When it comes to the relationship and the vulnerable partner you're known to choose, do you pick vulnerable partners because you believe you will be safe from exposing your own weak, sick, vulnerable side of you? When it comes to the relationship, when it comes to the relationships and the vulnerable partners you're known to choose, do you pick vulnerable partners because you believe you will be safe from exposing your own weak, sick, vulnerable side, right? Do you pick them like that? Because many times people are afraid to pick somebody that's just okay, somebody that not off balance, somebody that that's together even, somebody that's healthy. Right? People are like, that ain't gonna work. I can see it already. They can see it, but what many people can really see is that they can see themselves, and they can see that they feel and believe they're not enough. So they believe that they would have to step all the way up to the plate to even out with somebody that's stable and together, right? Because they know it won't be long before that real them or that real person comes out, right? So That's something to think about. So, number 10, vulnerable courage. In most relationships, are you known to be jealous or envious of most relationship partners you're known to get involved with? Vulnerable courage. In most relationships you get in, are you known to be jealous or envious of most relationship partners you're known to get involved with? Are you, what kind of, I mean, relationships are about competing and not completing. But you will find so many times that in these ships, not really relationships, but these ships, ships keep moving. They don't really dock, right? They just on a shipping from here to there, right? And people tend to be competing instead of completing, right? So, and it's not healthy because people are supposed to build each other up, not tear each other down, and not try to outdo each other. But together, you can do a whole lot. Together, it makes it more easy to pay a monthly rent bill or a mortgage bill or a life insurance bill, even, and have some insurance even, right? Being together. 2 salaries are better than 1. 2 heads, right, and 2 brains working at a household is better than that. And even better than that is to have God being the head of the house. So that's something to think about. So just think about it, Just sharing with you. Number 11, vulnerable courage. Do you know the difference between the 2 fire root words of jealousy and envy? Do you know the difference between the 2 fire roots, right? The root words, right? They are root words that, they stretch out and they're similar in many ways. The 2 root words we're going to talk about here is jealousy and envy. It says to be jealous, right? To define this for you guys, to be jealous, you have a fire for what you have and refuse to share, right? You got a fire in your side. Jealousy describes a fire, right? A fire within this root of things, right? A fire. You got a burning fire, right, within yourself. It said to be jealous, you have a fire for what you have. It's what you have. It belongs to you, and you refuse to share it. That's some kind of jealousy stuff. You got some gifts, right, but you don't want to share them with nobody else, right? And to have envy, you have a fire also for what other people have, and you want it, right? You got a fire for what other people have, and you actually want what other people have, and it becomes haterism too, and you believe because you believe you can't get it. Yeah, you really want it. Oh, you don't want to tell. Oh, I wish I had what you had. Oh, I wish I can think like you. I wish I can write papers like you, counselor. I mean, you got a fire, but you don't have to get out like that. You can free yourself from both of these 2 components, both of these 2 root words, right? The jealousy and envy. You can do that, right? So I just wanted to share another weekly hit for you. And I want to remind you as we close this out to subscribe to my channel. I'm in need of a lot of members. I'm in need of a lot of subscribers because it's a project behind this project. And it's definitely a God-given call that's needed. The world is upside down now and is going crazy. And I continue to be one of the people that God has put in place to put some help out. I'm more busy trying to help this process and help you all than finding myself lost like I once was out there. Finding myself like many of your children are lost out there. And this thing is called help, and we need to all help each other. And I'm going to keep on helping you, and I need y'all to come on in and start helping me.